Good day, everyone. I am Maiden Grace Reyes Lagidao, and for today's topic, we will gonna talk about the story of Pygmalion and Galatea. At the end of this video lesson, you will know the importance of love as well as the passion. The myth of Pygmalion and Galatea is the most known story in Greek mythology. The myth of Pygmalion and Galatea is also one of the most influential and inspiring ancient Greek myths and became the main theme for theoretical plays, movies, and artistic paintings. You may ask, who is Pygmalion? So in the story, Pygmalion was a talented Greek sculptor from Cyprus. After becoming disgusted by some local prostitutes, he lost all interest in women and avoided their company completely. Pygmalion saw women as flawed creatures and vowed never to waste any moment of his life with them. He dedicated himself to his work and soon created Galatea, a beautiful statue of a woman out of ivory. Ironically, the masterpiece of his life was this statue of a woman. Perhaps he sought to correct in marble the flaws he saw in women of flesh and blood. Right now, let me tell you the beautiful story of Pygmalion and Galatea. At first, in which the heart desires, Pygmalion is here in his studio with a look of deep thought engraved on his face. Disgusted by the debauched lifestyle of the local women, he has therefore decided to stay celibate and devote his life to his craft. He is oblivious to the women peering through his doorway, along with his precious statues that remind us of the three graces. It was in this moment where he sees in his mind an image of the perfect woman he has yet to create. Then, the time of the hand refrains came wherein one day, Pygmalion completes his creation of the woman of his dreams. As a result, he falls hopelessly in love with it. In a moment of inspiration, he names the figurine Galatea. The meaning of the name is she who is white like milk. During this time, countless are the nights and days he spent staring at her. And then the god had fires, in which, in the meantime, the city is celebrating a festival in the name of the goddess Aphrodite. While making offerings to Aphrodite, Pygmalion prays with all his heart and soul for the goddess to bring his statue to life. Touched by his deep veneration, the goddess visits his studio. She is amazed by the beauty she has discovered. That's why she granted the artist his wish. At the end, the soul was already attained, wherein, upon returning home, Pygmalion notices a flush on the cheeks of the sculpture. Therefore, he slowly realizes that his prayer was heard. He embraces Galatea and life comes into the cold marble. Their love blossoms and they exchange wedding vows. With the blessings of the goddess Aphrodite, they live happily ever after. The couple even has a son, Paphos, who later founded the city of Paphos in Cyprus. This most known story of Greek myths ends in happy ending, and as the time passes by, it's still the famous love story of a sculptor and statue that became an inspiration of others to keep on pursuing their desires in life and by nurturing their hobbies that can make them satisfy their soul. The setting of the action is set in an ancient Cyprus, an island notion in eastern Mediterranean south of Turkey. Here are the list of important characters in the story. First is Pygmalion, a young sculptor who despises women but becomes infatuated with an exquisite statue of his creation. Next is Galatea, figurine of a beautiful woman sculpted in an ivory by Pygmalion. Venus, Roman name of the goddess of love. In Greek mythology, Her name is Aphrodite, and the last one is Paphos, son of Pygmalion and the humanized statue. Upon knowing the story, it depicts that the story of Pygmalion and Galatea is an enchanting myth about Cyprioid sculptor who fell in love with his own sculpture. He prays to goddess Aphrodite, aka Venus, to bring the sculpture to life, because he plans for it to be his wife. The goddess grants his wish, and as a result, Pygmalion and his creation lived happily ever after. It gives us the moral lesson that love is in many ways a fabrication created by the mind, and Pygmalion's story reminds us that regardless of our sexuality, fantasy and reality must be separated in order to achieve true happiness. After all, divine intervention is not something that most of us can hope for. And also, we can notice in the story that the main theme of Pygmalion's myth is the artist's love of his own creation. Pygmalion becomes so infatuated with his work that he begins to treat it as if it were a real person. Another important theme, common in Greek mythology, is the equation of physical beauty with perfection. It reflects in the story the symbol of Galatea, wherein it was truly said that Galatea has no agency. She exists because a man decided to create the perfect woman and is given life because the man fell in love with her. In other words, she exists because of him and for him. Galatea is created from an inanimate object, such as marble, and has no power over her creator. Before I end, we have here the quotation by George Bernard Shaw that says, "Happy is the man who can make a living by his hobby." If we are going to relate this story in our modern times today, we can say that many people were living because of their passion in life. Although we live by having differences with regards to our talent, but we are as one in nurturing those talents that can make us live longer. Basically, there were some people who wanted to die, but their passion is the reason that kept them alive. That's all. Thank you.